Good, y'all. The WWE Universe has spoken. Last night during Monday Night Raw, We Want Mello was the number 5 trending topic in America during last night's episode of Raw. And the fans have spoken, man. The fans are tired of Triple H misusing Carmelo Hayes, right? Carmelo Hayes, who's a former NXT champion, had so much potential when he moved up to the main roster. And since then, he has been booked to look like an absolute loser. He loses a majority of his matches. He hasn't won any championships. The only thing that Carmelo Hayes has done since he's moved up to the main roster is win the Andre the Giant tournament. And you know what he got for that? He didn't get no championship for that. He got a chain, right? He got a useless chain that means absolutely nothing. And you got guys like Braun Breaker, who moved up around the same time as Carmelo Hayes. This guy's already a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Now, he's about to headline SummerSlam against Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, right? And, let's be honest. We all know Braun Breaker is a freak of nature, right? He's extremely athletic. The guy's brolic. He runs fast. I think he has the best spear of all time. But when you look at Carmelo Hayes is an all-around better star than Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes can cut promos. Carmelo Hayes is entertaining. Carmelo Hayes is funny. And Carmelo Hayes can wrestle his ass off in the ring. The only difference between Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker is Carmelo Hayes has been horribly booked, misused, and unfairly treated by Triple H. Just look at what happened last year. We seen Carmelo Hayes wrestle Braun Strowman, who's almost 7 feet tall. The guy's almost 400 pounds. We seen him have to wrestle that guy and got absolutely squashed. Now, you guys got to think to yourself, why would Carmelo Hayes, who's only 5'7" or something like that, why would he be booked to wrestle Braun Strowman? Because Triple H wanted to embarrass him. And during that time when the fans like myself spoke on it, when we were making it heard on Twitter that was some bullshit, they ended up having a rematch and Carmelo Hayes won. And that only happened because Triple H seen the negative criticism. So, listen, ever since Carmelo Hayes lost that qualifier to participate in the Money in the Bank match, he's not even being booked for matches consistently anymore, right? Like, this guy lost a Money in the Bank qualifier to Andrade. I think Andrade only wrestled 5 times the whole 2024. Carmelo Hayes pretty much wrestled almost he was on Raw or SmackDown almost every week wrestling, whether he lost or won. He was wrestling all last year, right? And it didn't pay off at all because the majority of his matches he lost. He didn't win any titles. And when he has a chance to actually participate in the Money in the Bank, he loses to Andrade? Really? Right? Now, even if you look at the Royal Rumble, right? When you look at last year's Royal Rumble, right? Obviously, Jey Uso won. Look at how Carmelo Hayes was eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Braun Breaker, and it's funny that Braun Breaker did this because that's who I like to compare Carmelo Hayes to. Braun Breaker speared Carmelo Hayes. I'm sorry, bro. Listen, I'm a Carmelo Hayes fan, but we have to be honest, bro. When you really sit back and think about how biased Triple H is, all you can really do is laugh. And this is why people are calling for him to be fired. This is why people think the guy is racist. I don't know if Triple H is racist. It seems like he is, but I think overall, Triple H is just a terrible booker. I think he books a lot of people. As you look at LA Knight, he books LA Knight the same way. But listen, Braun Breaker speared Carmelo Hayes outside of the ring to get eliminated in the Royal Rumble. All that's happened to this guy since he moved up to the main roster is he's just turned into a complete jobber. He's turned into a complete joke. And his whole gimmick is Melo don't miss. But every time he's in a situation where he needs to hit the shot, he loses. And it's not his fault. It's just how he's being booked. Now, Carmelo Hayes saw that he was trending number 5 last night, and he was very appreciative of it. This is what he had to say. So he went on Twitter and said, "I see y'all." He put the salute emoji. He put the prayer hands. And then he went and said, "If this works, ... LOL." The reason why he's saying that is because when you look at R-Truth, right? R-Truth, he had his match at Saturday Night Main Event against John Cena. It was hands down the most entertaining match of that whole card. And I think a week or two after that, we heard that R-Truth was released by the WWE. So all of the WWE universe on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, all across social media, dudes was making YouTube videos. Everybody was extremely pissed off at the fact that the WWE released R-Truth from the WWE, right? So a week later, he ends up coming back and he re-signs to the WWE. So that's why Carmelo Hayes is saying, "If this works, LOL," because Carmelo Hayes is looking at it like, damn, like the fans really want to see me win. They really see how I'm being screwed over. And maybe now that the fans are speaking up for me and I was the 5th trending topic out of everything else in America last night, maybe now Triple H and TKO will see, you know what? This guy Carmelo Hayes actually has a solid fan base. Maybe we do need to book him better. Maybe we do need to give him more opportunities. Maybe we do need to put him in a position to where he can win his first championship, because he deserves it, bro. It's not fair that guys that are less talented, less charismatic, less entertaining are getting booked better than Carmelo Hayes, bro. Like, they are literally wasting this guy's potential to the point where, you know, if you're going to keep doing this, at least let the guy leave the company and go somewhere else where he'll be treated fairly, where he'll be treated better and fairly, because, like, it's to a point now where he ain't even wrestling consistently no more. Now, we did see Carmelo Hayes, I believe it was last week on Friday Night SmackDown, and this is what I'm talking about. So he finally got a match for the first time since the Money in the Bank qualifier. He had a match with Damian Priest. The match ends up getting interrupted by Aleister Black. And I think Carmelo, I don't even know, like, he didn't win, right? Long story short, the match got interrupted. The match ended in disqualification because Aleister Black interrupted the match. So, I mean, it was a complete waste of time. Why book Carmelo Hayes in the match for the first time in weeks just to have the match end in fucking disqualification? Stupid. You understand what I'm saying? But this is why I'm always talking about Triple H, bro. Because you guys have to understand that Triple H is the creative. He's the person that's booking the matches. He's the person that's deciding who gets the title, who loses the title. And, you know, Triple H is biased. He has guys that he likes. He has guys that he doesn't like. For example, if you look at LA Knight, I think every honest WWE fan would have to agree that LA Knight should have been won a major world title. The fact that LA Knight is only a 2-time United States champion since he re-signed to the WWE, that is blasphemy. LA Knight is 39 years old. This guy's basically in his 40s, and you're wasting his talent. You had him lose the Money in the Bank the last 2 years. This year, you have Money in the Bank in his hometown of Los Angeles. You know that the fans want this guy to win. And instead of having him win, you have him lose the Money in the Bank to Seth freaking Rollins, who has already won the Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins is already a solidified superstar. He's already won multiple, major world titles. You give it to a guy that doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. And listen, I'm not going to go as far as to say Seth Rollins didn't deserve it. But what I am going to say is he didn't need it. LA Knight needed to win the Money in the Bank. Then, when he has a chance to win King of the Ring, right, where he could have had another opportunity to compete for a major world title, you have him lose King of the Ring, right? And I think it's to a point where the WWE gods are seeing how unfairly LA Knight has been treated, because ironically, when Seth Rollins was facing LA Knight, Seth Rollins had some freak injury to his knee, and Seth Rollins was supposed to win that match. But because Seth Rollins injured his knee, LA Knight won the match. You didn't even book LA Knight to win that match against Seth Rollins. So it's obvious that Triple H hates LA Knight. He doesn't like LA Knight. He's not one of his guys. He doesn't see what other people see in him. And I keep telling you guys this. Triple H doesn't care about what the fans want. Triple H cares about what he wants. And as long as he's running the show, you are going to see people that deserve certain things, they're not going to get it. If he doesn't like you, if he doesn't see potential in you, he is going to book you in the worst way possible. That's just what it is. You know, another person that isn't being booked properly, who's a fucking legend, Randy Orton. Look at Randy Orton. You had Randy Orton wrestle John Cena in his hometown of St. Louis, right? And you have Randy Orton lose to John Cena, who's literally never going to wrestle again after this year. He's literally going to retire and be a full-time actor. You could have had Randy Orton win that match. You had him lose. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this just doesn't make any sense, bro. So, listen, now that the fans have spoken, there's pressure on Triple H and TKO to do the right thing and put Carmelo Hayes in a situation where he can win the title. And it's to a point now, bro, where it's like, I don't care if he wins the Intercontinental title. I don't care if he wins the United States title. Best case scenario, bro, I think Carmelo Hayes should take that title from Dirty Dom. If Dirty Dom can retain as the Intercontinental Champion, have Carmelo Hayes take the Intercontinental title. Because Dirty Dom ain't doing nothing with it. He just faked the injury because he was avoiding AJ Styles. I don't think Dominic Mysterio brings any value to the Intercontinental title. Like, honestly, look at what he's done since he's won that title. He's had 2 matches that were just boring and trash since he won that title. He ain't doing nothing with it. Give it to a guy that's going to bring purpose to that title. That's going to bring something there. You know? Because one thing that's undeniable now is Carmelo Hayes has fans. The fact that We Want Melo was number 5 trending in America, I don't think you guys understand how big of a deal that is. That's incredible. The fans have spoken, bro. You know? So shout out to the WWE Universe for making that trend last night. And let's see if Triple H is going to give the fans what he wants. I don't think he's going to do it. But I will say this. I do think that there's pressure on him to stop fucking around and wasting Carmelo Hayes' talent. So let me know what you guys think about this. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. I'm out.